And g'day, I'm David Abrahams and welcome to Central Coast Newspaper's Weekly News 5 at 5, May 20, 2022, the Democracy Sausage Edition. Yes, and a day out from the federal election, things are getting rough, as demonstrated by the front page of this weekend's paper. Our editor just couldn't help himself. And pre-polling at the 7 Central Coast locations have received strong turnouts, with AEC estimates pointing to a 30% voter turnout, which is remarkable before election day. We decided to pop down to the prepoll station at Gosford that covers both federal electorates to gauge some sentiment.
The letters from Labor, Liberal and Greens every second day in the letter box, which is a bit of a pain because I've already made up my mind and voted.
You're driving around the area, you'll realise how run down this place is. I've been part of the Central Coast community for 45 years and I've never seen it so run down as I have in the last decade.
Well, they've all got points to prove, but they all don't seem to have any right direction, I think, you know what I mean? And our wages have gone down, and I've just retired anyway, so it doesn't matter, but you just look after yourself and best of luck here, whatever happens.
And if you'd like to watch, listen or read some of the dozens of articles CCN has covered this election, just head over to our website or YouTube channel and knock yourself out with as much as you like. Go to coastcommunitynews.com.au/election. Now, after 22 years of community campaigning by groups such as Dying with Dignity, the New South Wales Parliament passed the Voluntary Assisted Dying legislation this week. The legislation passed thanks to conscience votes by the parties. We spoke with 2 local MPs about this landmark legislation.
All of those people campaigning on this, it's been a very respectful campaign. Dying with Dignity have been incredibly great to work with here on the Central Coast. But again, and all the community members themselves, Dave, who took the time to fill out my survey or reach out to me directly or via my office. And it was great to have that feedback, because as a conscience vote, it allows MPs to share the will of the conscience of our electorates. And that's exactly what I did last November.
20 years down the track, the most conservative parliament in New South Wales, we're the 6th one to push it through. It was an incredible joy and a privilege to be part of a really compassionate parliament with all the parties working together to finally put that legislation in place.
Around the oyster industry, around Mooney Mooney, to check out how the industry was going after months of poor weather, chatting to the young women at the oyster shed.
Suffering greatly just because of all the floods and the rain and then water being released from the dam. A lot of our local oysters have died and, it's just, a bit of a tragedy.
But you guys are still open. I mean, it's a beautiful day and there are people here. I guess you have a few coming up from Sydney?
Yeah, we have quite a few coming up from both directions, mainly Sydney, but, it seems to be a popular spot to stop when you're making a road trip up and down the coast.
Now in sport, Central Coast Mariners went down 3-1 in their semi-final away to Adelaide United on Sunday to crash out of the A-League finals. But in a social media statement, the club tweeted, "It hurts, but we are proud of what this group has achieved. Written off by everyone at the start of the season, and again we prove them wrong. We won't back down," end quote. A true finals football battle did occur, however, with Adelaide United went on the attack from the outset, spurred on by a packed Coopers Stadium, and the home team was first to score with Craig Goodwin in the 25th minute. The boys in yellow seemed a little starstruck by the intensity of the match at times, but defended with a consistency that has become their hallmark this season. Then Cummings put the ball in the back of the net after a brilliant run from Max Ballard, only the VAR to rule it offside. And in the 66th minute, Adelaide cut through the Mariners on a counter-attack to go 2-0 up. Then a big surprise interchange by Coach Montgomery. The changes were rewarded when Ballard turned in the box, putting the ball to Rue, who tapped it in for a sweet goal. And it was game on again. With 6 minutes added on, the visitors kept pushing. That risked, of course, leaving holes in their defence, and 2 minutes into added time, the home side scored their third. Now, all of these stories and many, many more written by local journalists can be found on our news website, coastcommunitynews.com.au, without a paywall, and in this week's print editions of the Coast Community News and the Coast Community Chronicle. Now, remember to subscribe to our popular email newsletter at our website and follow our socials on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram for updates throughout the week. Now, we wrap off this week with footage from local boy Max Mason's rapid ascent in the Formula Ford racing scene. The 15-year-old local scored 2 second-place positions in the ultra-competitive sports racing class. Go Max.